Hello, friends and neighbors.
Hey.
Hello and welcome back. We're glad to be with you again. I'm Dr. Ken Berry, a family physician. This is Neisha Solace-Berry, registered nurse, certified breastfeeding consultant, and health coach.
That's me.
And some other stuff too, I forgot, I think.
So many things.
So many things. For the next hour, we're going to be hanging out with you and answering your questions about food, about diet, about nutrition, about medications, about the state of medical care in the United States.
But it is not medical advice.
That's right. I am a doctor. She is a nurse. But tonight, we're just two people talking on YouTube and answering your questions. Hey, that's my Superman curl.
Dr. Berry's due for a haircut.
Yeah, that's my I need a haircut curl right there.
That's our sign.
When it becomes unruly, it's time to go see Bryce and get a haircut.
Hi, Bryce. She's probably not watching.
No, probably.
If you're new, welcome. Let us know in the comments. And also know that we answer as many questions as possible in the hour that we are here. We can't answer all the questions, but we do have moderators in the comment section that are PhD coaches. They are amazing resources. So if they're talking to you, pay attention. They are volunteering their time to be here, and we truly appreciate every single minute that they give us because we're only two people.
Absolutely. So if somebody answers your question and you're like, I'm brand new to this, and they have a blue wrench beside their name, you can take what they say to the bank because they've been with us for years.
We're live on Facebook, YouTube,
and Twitter.
X.
Yep.
X. So tag a buddy, tag a friend, tag a neighbor, tag your doctor.
Yeah, tag your doctor or your dietitian. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed. And now's the time to type a short question into the comments. Something you've been wondering about, like, but I thought whole wheat bread was a health food, or I thought fresh squeezed orange juice was good for me. Stuff like that. And then we can talk on that. Absolutely. Neisha's been out in the garden all day. I've been in the pasture all day. We've been out in the medium boiling sun. It wasn't terrible.
It wasn't. It was very sunny though. Like if I hadn't been paying attention, I fear I may have gotten a little too much sun. But I think I'm okay. So there's some hot topics going on in the diet sphere. So I think that will probably get brought up tonight. So we'll wait for that to get brought up. But
I'm going to grab one from Ruth here. Ruth says, good diet for high cholesterol. Now, Ruth, I can tell you're new and welcome. We're so glad to have you. You are currently under the impression that having high cholesterol is the most dangerous thing that you can have with regards to a heart attack, aren't you, Ruth? That's what you currently believe, because that's kind of what your doctor implied, if not said outright. What if I told you, Ruth, that your total cholesterol level being high is one of the least predictive things there is with regards to your risk of having a heart attack in the near or distant future? The things that you need to focus on, the things your doctor also needs to focus on, is what is your A1C? What is your fasting insulin level? What are your triglycerides? What is your HDL? What is your HSCRP? These are the 5 labs that tell you your risk for heart attack and your risk for stroke and all the other bad things that come with metabolic disease. In many cases, for women, having a high cholesterol is actually protective and actually a good thing. So if anything I just said just now, Ruth, made you go, wait, what? Then I've got lots of videos on my YouTube channel that will explain to you the relative dangers of high A1C versus high cholesterol, high triglycerides versus high LDL cholesterol, because you've currently been misinformed, and it sounds like your doctor has been too.
Brittany, that's one of my Akatar buddies. We read the same book.
Oh.
Neisha, every time I see you, your hair is longer. What are you eating? Is it meat? Yeah, but also I feel like it has grown a lot. Same thing I've always eaten. I did start with not the liver ancestral supplements, but the FEM, which is a blend of female organs and beef liver. I don't know if that's helping. I've always had very luscious hair, so I'm very blessed. Have good genetics when I'm eating right.
But you know, most women, as they get older and they get into their 30s and 40s and later, their hair gets thinner and more brittle, and
that's what we've been told. Yes.
Right. But I have not noticed that is happening to your hair at all. And I mean, you're in your late 20s now. and your hair looks just as good as the day I
we were
met you.
going somewhere with the age there. I am 39. But yeah, I mean, but I think a lot of it has to do with nutrition, but some of it's genetics too. Not
Sure.
everyone is going to have hair like Neisha. I have Puerto Rican genetics. That's where this hair comes from, I think.
Yeah, it's a blend of that Scotch Irish and Puerto Rico.
Got the freckles from the
Yeah.
Irish side and hair from the Puerto Rican side.
Let me tell you guys, it's the perfect blend we got going on over here. To my left, your right. Now, here's a question from Kay. Is a carnivore diet good when you have pancreatitis frequently? I'm not able to digest fat in my diet. So the vast majority, there are some enzymes that come from your pancreas that do help digest fat, but the vast majority of fat breakdown and emulsification comes from your gallbladder, from bile, either from a gallbladder if you have one, but if you don't have a gallbladder, then it comes straight from your liver. That's what does the majority of digestion of fat, but there are lipases that come from your pancreas. The vast majority of chronic pancreatitis is caused by alcohol, prescription or over-the-counter drugs, and high sugar, high fructose diets, either something you drank or something you ate. Junk food diets greatly increase your risk of pancreatitis. Now, your doctor can prescribe you pancreatic enzymes, and there's like 20 different strengths. So if you think you're unable to digest fat, slowly adopt, go low carb, then keto, and then carnivore. Ask your doctor for a prescription for pancreatic enzymes, and you'll be able to digest all your food just fine. And you might need the pancreatic enzymes if you've had recurrent, repetitive pancreatitis, because you may have damaged your pancreas. Also, ask for a fasting insulin to make sure that your damaged pancreas is still able to produce enough insulin. You got anything good over there?
Everybody chatting with each other. Love that. Meat stock. Is that what it's called? That's coming up this week. If you're going, say hi so Dr. Berry will know when he gets there to give you a big hug and squeeze and take a ussy, as he likes to say.
Yes, absolutely. In the mountains.
In Appalachia, Tennessee. I will not be there. I have to stay and help take care of the animals and the tiny human animals.
Yes.
Also, but he's very excited. What are you gonna talk about?
I don't know yet. We'll see.
He's gonna wing it.
I'm gonna wing it. Here's a question from Mike. How long are eggs good after the sell-by date? How long do they keep? So, Mike, if you keep your eggs, you bought them at a supermarket and you bring them home and put them in the refrigerator, they're good for months. Okay, unless there's one that's cracked and it also had bacteria. I never eat an egg that's cracked if I get it home from the supermarket. I always give that to the dogs or throw it away because I don't trust other people really handling my food that much. But if the shell is intact and you keep them refrigerated, they'll keep for months past the expiration date.
We're lucky enough to have backyard chickens, and we don't have this issue. I see this a lot where people are like, you have to do special stuff to keep them clean and keep them from getting broke. I have never known. Not one time.
No.
Our chicken, I get them once a week because we only have 2 laying hens and they lay every single day. They're always clean and none of them are ever cracked. But if we had a cracked one, we would just give it, like you said, to the dog.
Give it to the chickens. They love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Eggs are a superfood. The fat and the protein and all the vitamins and minerals in eggs. If any of you guys are not eating eggs, you need to eat more eggs, okay? Eggs are literally a gift from the Creator. If you think that you're sensitive to eggs because you took a food sensitivity test, you're almost certainly not sensitive to eggs. Only if you've been to the allergist and you had allergy testing where they prick your back or do the full panel testing and they told you, hey, you're allergic to eggs, don't eat eggs. If it was a board-certified allergist who told you not to eat eggs, then you should avoid eggs. But that's like one person out of 100,000. It's super rare. Do not trust food sensitivity testing. They're notoriously unhelpful and inaccurate.
Some people are sensitive to the whites more than the yolks. Some people are sensitive to store-bought. And then when they get fresh pastured eggs, they don't have a reaction to those.
Yep.
Duck eggs also. Some people that are sensitive to chicken eggs can eat duck eggs just fine, which they're harder to come by. But more and more, if you find a local farmer's market or a very bougie place to shop. I know in Nashville there are several places that carry duck eggs. They are a little bit more pricey, but
they're delicious.
And they're bigger too.
Bigger.
So you kind of get more bang for your buck.
I love duck eggs. Now, we've got how many? 15 teenager chickens that we just put them in with the big girls.
Yeah, they're having their little.
And they're getting used to each other, establishing the pecking order, right? But I think Neisha's going to be posting a new video about the chicken family adoption on her channel. And then maybe on the farm channel too. I'm not sure if we'll have chicken video over there.
I can't do 2 channels. That's a lie. I've tried multiple times, and I'm just.
How will they find your chicken? Your chicken.
My chicken.
How will they find your YouTube channel?
You can search for Neisha, Neisha, and I should pop up. I'm one of the few Neishas on YouTube. So. Quail eggs are also great. Yes, good point. Although they are teensy tiny. We used to have quail here on the farm.
It takes 5 quail eggs to equal 1 chicken egg.
They're so cute. So cute.
Yeah, they are very beautiful eggs, though. Yeah, let's see. Everybody's talking about eggs right now. Let's see if I can find another one. Here's somebody who had high cholesterol. For our previous questioner, this is Irene. Her cholesterol was 218. Their doctor said, you got to take a statin. And she said, no, never. She went carnivore, and her health is improving. And all those numbers that I told you about are improving as well. That's the way. That is the way. Now, what are you wearing this evening, my lady?
Oh, my favorite sweatshirt. This is the Berry University sweatshirt. You can get on drberry.com/shop.
Okay, show it again.
Cozy.
That was in the way. There you go. We also have Proper Human Diet. We have beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. We have the OB Farms shirts.
Yeah, the OB Farms shirts are on there. They're so cute. Before I forget, this reminded me because it says established in 2017. Did you know that today in 2017 was the first time we went live talking about health and nutrition? Right. And do you know? Okay, so we always say we were at the movie theater, but we can never remember what movie. But now I know.
Do you know?
It was in the description.
What was the movie?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, we were waiting to watch Guardians of the Galaxy at the theater, and she said, we should just go live right now. I'm like,
I was already going live on Facebook talking about my kind of stuff. And I was like, let's go live.
And also, I think today is the anniversary of when I hit 100,000 followers or subscribers on YouTube.
So it was May when we started out on this venture doing live streams. Isn't that crazy? 2017.
Thank you. Happy anniversary, Jill says. Thank you, Jill. Okay, guys, you got questions. Now's the time to type them in. Let me go over here and grab some of these.
I took a screenshot. I had blonde hair.
Marina, thank you very much. Nice. Oh, yeah, let's see the screenshot. I don't know if we can.
It's not flattering of me. So,
you said there should be no bliss moment when you eat. Otherwise, you might overeat. But I love Ketovore food. I always have a bliss moment. Look at that hair.
Do I look older or younger? That was 20s. Look at my. I mean, that was a screen grab. Obviously,
look at those
not
roots.
Very flattering. But
I see roots. You're still beautiful.
What a time to be alive.
Okay, so what Marina is talking about is if you make fat bombs, if you make keto treats, keto cookies, cakes, and pies, you can actually make them so delicious that you will overeat your satiety signals. Hyper palatable. That's right. And so if your primary goal is to lose fat, to lose weight, then you don't want to eat things like that, because let's say me and Marina sat down and we ate as much ribeye, fatty ribeye. Neisha cooked it on the grill. She's a great griller. And we ate until we were completely stuffed. And I said, hey, Marina, you want some more ribeye? She'd be like, oh my God, no, I'm gonna die. If Neisha then brought out some brown butter bites with chocolate stevia or some cheese or some keto brownies,
keto chips and salsa,
guess what? Me and Marina would be like, I think I could, I'll eat a little of that. Now we were stuffed, couldn't eat another bite.
No more meat, please.
But we could still eat that hyper palatable food. And that's it. So this doesn't really matter much if somebody's not doing keto, ketovore, carnivore for weight loss, for fat loss. But if you are.
Listen, I'm ketovore. Been ketovore for a very long time. Some say I'm the mother of ketovore. I don't know.
I've heard many people say that. Some people say that.
I have bliss when I eat. It's because I cook in a way that has the umami flavor, and it's a lot. I use a lot of garlic and a lot of spices, and like that's a different kind of bliss. I feel like
we need a different word,
right.
because I love my food. I just made up I chopped up a bunch of bacon, fried it, and then mixed it with about 8 scrambled eggs and scarfed it. And it was freaking awesome. I loved it. It was delicious, but it's not the same thing as when you're eating junk food and your eyes are kind of rolling back and crossing a little, and you're just like, oh, almost like a drug addict.
I don't know how to explain it, but I have a food that I eat on repeat, and I keep telling you guys about it, and I've got to make a video. It's my Caesar.
You do need to make a video about your nasty.
It's not nasty. It's delicious. It's my homemade Caesar dressing, and then I put it on literally everything, and that just makes me so happy.
Okay, here's a question from, it's a little bit stinky. It's got sardines in it. Hey, Doc, my mom.
Anchovies in it, dingle.
That's what I meant, yeah. Has advanced jaw cancer. Doc says the prognosis is poor. Do you think switching to keto still makes sense? She's unsure. I'd like to show her your video to encourage her. So, Mr. K's mom, I'm so sorry to hear this has happened to you. This has got to be terrible. If there is any dietary intervention on planet Earth that could potentially prolong your life, that could slow down the spread of the cancer, could keep the cancer from thriving and metastasizing, it's going to be either a high-fat, meat-heavy ketogenic diet, of which I have many videos on my YouTube channel, or Ketovore, like Neisha. She has Ketovore videos on her channel, needs to be higher fat, or high-fat carnivore. Cancer loves sugar. Jaw cancer, cancer of the mandible, is a solid tumor cancer, which absolutely loves sugar. Sugar helps that cancer thrive and metastasize. And so I'm not saying it's going to cure your cancer. I'm not saying anything like that, but I am saying there is a good chance that it will slow down the progression and give you longer good times with your family. Yes, that's what I'm saying. I hope that helps.
I have a question.
Okay. Ask away.
I would love to do, so I have a new camera. Well, it's not a new camera. I've had it for a hot minute, but it follows me, and I can do live streams in the kitchen. And I think the Caesar dressing video would be, I could actually do that on a live stream. Would anybody want to make Caesar dressing with me on a live stream on my channel?
Oh, a live stream.
Right, because most things take time to cook. Right. But making Caesar dressing, that's a 10-minute, 15-minute process, maybe.
You should do that. That's a great idea. Yeah. That's a great idea. Okay, let's see. Here is Moon Girl, diagnosed with pan-uveitis. After testing determined it was autoimmune, and there are such things. Doc wants to put me on methotrexate for 2 years. I do not want to take it, but was told I could suffer permanent damage if I don't. Yeah, so uveitis, especially if it's autoimmune uveitis, can cause permanent scarring to the surface of your eye. So you probably need to be on the methotrexate. Now, would it help you if you started a real whole food ketogenic diet or carnivore diet? I think so, yes. I think it would calm down your immune system and help it not attack your own body cells as much. It might also help you take a lower dose of methotrexate and perhaps not have to take it for 2 years, maybe just a year, year and a half, both of which would be great victories for you, Moon Girl. So definitely pick the one that you know you can stick to. Do you need some vegetables in your life like Neisha? Or are you happy with meat, eggs, and fish like
specific
meat?
Types of vegetables?
Right,
too.
Exactly.
Like we're trying for low oxalate, low inflammatory, low carb type of vegetables. And I always try to add a lot of fat to my vegetables, like Caesar dressing or bacon grease.
And
anchovies.
But now, what I just told Moon Girl, anybody out there, if you have any kind of autoimmune condition, my advice applies to you as well. If you have a loved one that has an autoimmune condition, up to and including multiple sclerosis, what I just said to Moon Girl applies to you and your loved ones as well. So you might want to share this video with them if you know someone with an autoimmune condition.
Also, I'm sure they've told you, but methotrexate, it's a huge immunosuppressant. So make sure that you are being even more vigilant when it comes to your diet, because you're going to be way more prone to catching viruses and
it's going to really beat down your immune system. And so make sure you have a good conversation with your doctor. and make sure that you are able to give informed consent. You need to know all the potential side effects, all the potential benefits.
It's a very strong drug.
It's a big boy drug. Yeah, you don't want to take that without understanding all the ramifications. So have a conversation with your doctor and your pharmacist about that.
I worked at a rheumatology clinic, and I remember because we gave out methotrexate all the time, and I was doing my research on all the medications when I was new, and I was like, the side effects of this are horrible. What are we? Why?
Potential.
This is what we give people who are already suffering. This is insane.
Yep. Yeah. James says, I have a daughter who has scoliosis. Any suggestions on diet for her? She's 12 years old. Yeah, James, your daughter needs to be either low carb with real whole foods, or keto, or ketovore, or carnivore. Any of those are perfectly safe, healthy, and fine for her. They are going to encourage proper bone growth, proper muscle growth. It's not going to cure her scoliosis, but it might very well keep her scoliosis from getting more severe. That would not surprise me at all. Good question. Thank you very much.
Also, being athletic and active is going to be good for her too. So anything like gymnastics or anything that's stretching and moving.
Physical therapy, occupational therapy, and then move those muscles and move those bones.
Strengthen her back.
Absolutely. Armadillo toe. Is there any need for iodine supplementation if a person is taking amiodarone? Now, a lot of you guys who are taking amiodarone are probably going, what does that mean? So amiodarone has a lot of iodine in it. Also, if you're taking a thyroid replacement hormone, that has a lot of iodine in it as well. But typically, it's not enough for your entire body. Okay. Now, somebody taking thyroid replacement hormone or amiodarone, which is a heart medicine, they probably don't need to take as much iodine supplementation, because amiodarone's got a lot of iodine in it. Actually, in its list of warnings and possible side effects is thyroid problems because of all the iodine. It's a good question. Armadillo toe. I like that. Sergio. Hey guys, appreciate all the work you guys do to provide us with the truth about food. My question is about the dark skin that develops in between the thighs from weight gain, currently down 10 pounds. Any suggestions? Yes. This is called acanthosis nigricans. It is a sign, and most people who are big think it's because the skin's rubbing together. But you can get this in your armpits, you can get it on your neck, you can get it anywhere in your body, and it's from hyperinsulinemia. It's from eating too many carbs, which spike your sugar, which spike your insulin. It will go away now that you've adopted either keto, ketovore, or carnivore, but it's not going to go away quickly. It's going to take months for it to calm down and go away. Basically 3 months, because that's how long it takes for you to completely replace your skin cells. Okay. Good question. It's going to go away, but it's going to take 3 to 6 months. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Shan says, is one avocado a day bad for ketovore? One every day? I mean, not necessarily. That is a lot of avocado, and avocado does have carbs.
Well, look it up. How many total carbohydrates does an avocado have?
Not all avocados are created equal, right? So you're going to need to weigh them. The pits in some of them are huge. So like weigh it and then calculate that and see if that falls into your, carb limit for the day.
Yep.
It does have fat and a lot of other benefits to it as well.
Yeah, I think probably half an avocado would be fine, but a whole one, that's
every day is the thing. How many days are you going to eat a whole? I mean, are you catching your avocados every day at the perfect moment? If you are, please teach me your way.
How do you do that?
How are you doing that? But I think like a whole avocado 2-3 days a week, if you're doing ketovore and you're fine with that amount of carbohydrates, then that's probably fine.
Yep, I agree. Collis, Land O'Lake butter. Is it okay? I like the convenience of their half sticks. Also, any particular egg brand, it doesn't matter, particular size and color. So first, the butter. Everybody listen carefully. It's very important. Just because it says Land O'Lakes, and that's a brand of butter you bought all your life, even if it says Kerrygold, and that's the butter you bought all your life, both of those companies have products that have canola oil mixed in with them. Not all their products, but some of them. So if you buy anything that has an ingredient list, you better read the ingredients.
And it could say on the back,
cream, salt,
or just cream if it's unsalted.
The end.
Some of the unsalted will actually have some weird additive in it as well. So always read the ingredients on everything.
Yep.
You can also, if you have heavy cream in your refrigerator and it's about to go off, you can make your own butter from the heavy cream.
100%.
So you don't just buy heavy cream to make your own butter.
That'd be expensive.
That's not saving you any money. So if you're on a budget, like that's dumb.
Yeah.
It's fun for kids to do, but it's like, don't do that. And if you do that and you like ranch dressing, then keep that whey or buttermilk, and you can make some rich dressing using that too. But just check the ingredients.
Yep.
We like Amish butter. If you live near an Amish community or a grocery that sells that type of butter, it is just the most rich, creamy butter you've ever had in your life, and you'll never want any other kind.
Totally agree. Now the egg issue. Here's a Dr. Berry rule. Any egg is better than no egg, unless you're talking about Cadbury eggs, and then that's worse than having no eggs. But if we're talking about real hen, chicken, duck, quail, goose eggs, any egg, I don't care how cheap it is, I don't care. Any egg's better than no egg. Now the best eggs are pastured eggs like Neisha's that just run around in the backyard and eat bugs and worms and seeds.
And get snuggles from toddlers.
And get toddler snuggles. Those are the most healthiest, highest omega-3, highest vitamin D, highest vitamin and mineral eggs, because those chickens are getting to live a chicken life. Also, they're happier chickens, right? But even the cheap eggs from the discount supermarket are still going to be better for you than any cereal on the cereal aisle. What is there, like 500 brands of cereal?
Many. The thing with size and color, that doesn't really matter. That's the breed of chicken. So the white egg are these particular breed of chicken that they have, and the big houses that we don't really prefer the way that they keep their chickens. We don't approve of that. But if you're on a budget, like get what you get. That's just the breed that lays white eggs.
That's right.
There's many breeds that lay brown. We have green, we have blue. That doesn't matter. It doesn't really change anything. Right. It's the way that chicken is raised. Also,
the color of the yolk sometimes
matters
with regard to nutrient density, but very often does not matter.
You can fake that.
They can. They give the chickens beta carotene, and it makes their yolks bright orange.
Beta carotene, and also certain flours they can put into
their food. Just the other day, we had some of your eggs, and we had some store eggs. And the store eggs, the shell is just white like a cloud. It's just perfectly white.
Because they were sold out of the Vital Farms, which we usually
right. And so I cracked it, and that yolk was twice as orange as your yolk from these chickens that literally eat bugs and worms and seeds.
And I know that egg, if we compared it in a lab, the nutrition from our chicken egg is probably going to be leaps and bounds from what this.
Absolutely. Oh, here's a Indiana keto meetup, May the 24th. See lowcarbevents.com for details. Two Crazy Ketos will be our special guests. Meet swag, meet fun, meet community, meet. Jennifer Lucas. So there's a website called lowcarbevents.com that Chris Baer from Keto Chow, he keeps that up and keeps it updated. Any low carb, keto, carnivore event, he usually has that on lowcarbevents.com.
Marty says some egg cartons say vegetarian fed, as if that's a selling point. I know, right?
That's chicken abuse.
Our chickens love to eat bugs. Their favorite treat is not grain. Their favorite treat is mealyworms and black fly larvae and bugs.
They love frogs. They love snakes. They love little baby mice. They will wear them out. If we have leftover meat, if I don't give it to the dogs, I'll give it to the chickens. They wear it out. They love it. They're not vegan. Chickens are not vegan.
They're omnivores. And if you put two things, but if I brought scraps from the kitchen, like leftover tomatoes or whatever, and then gave them their mealyworms, which one do you think they're going to go 100%. After first? They're going to fight over the mealyworms.
Mike B, almost 4 months on carnivore. Great improvement. Notice that if I eat liver, it ends up irritating my gut after the fact. Tried beef liver and cod liver. Even grinds with liver slightly irritate me. Are ancestral supplements okay? So yeah, ancestral supplements makes a beef liver capsule that you can take. And if you feel like that liver irritates you, then my friend Amber O'Hearn would say, maybe that's your body saying you don't currently need any liver, which I can't completely disagree with that line of reasoning. But also, if you can take the supplements and they don't really cause irritation, then I think that's fine. We got a bottle sitting right there, and there's a link in the show notes if you want to check them out.
Hang on.
So this is the beef liver. They have all kinds. I take the thyroid, desiccated thyroid. I take the FEM. They have one for male.
What's it called?
It's
MOPO.
called MOPO. And it stands for male optimization something. I can't ever remember. Anyways, it's called MOPO.
I could go somewhere with that, but
these say take 6. We have talked to them, and Dr. Berry also suggests if you're going to take a supplement like this, start with 2 a day with your food just to make sure, because, you know, even though these are very good quality supplements, you want to make sure that you're going to be able to process them and your gut's not going to go, whoa,
Yep.
you know. So we have a discount code and a link in the description. And if you're ever looking for links and discount codes, if you go to drberry.com, we now have a marketplace with anything that Dr. Berry recommends, including iodine, including the supplements, including books. And if we have a discount code, it is there. Very easy to find. We have done this because it saves you guys money. Some of them are affiliate links, so we get like a few cents every sale that we make. So if you want to support Dr. Berry, it's a very easy way to do that while you save money also.
I love it. Here's Lightning. I'm in the early stages of pregnancy. Huzzah!
Congratulations.
Huzzah! And have been on carnivore for about 5 months. I'm having food aversions and I'm tolerating chicken thighs. Is that okay? Also, which supplements should I take? I'm going to turn this over to my labor and delivery nurse, certified breastfeeding consultant, and almost was a midwife, but didn't ever complete the training.
I decided to stay home with this dude. Yeah, so meat aversions in the first trimester, very common. It's the smell more than anything. So if you're feeling good with chicken thighs, go to town, sister. Supplements, you need to be taking folate, not folic acid. You can talk to your provider on the appropriate dosage. I think recommended right now is 400 micrograms of folate. You can take a prenatal vitamin if you like. There's some debate on whether or not that's just, a moot point.
Do you think that prenatal vitamins are harmful or probably just not healthy?
I just think they're a waste of money. This is what I took as my prenatal vitamin.
Yep.
Was the beef liver and the folate. Also took vitamin D3K2, and I did supplement with iodine, which I was doing prior to becoming pregnant as well.
And I think that's great for any pregnant woman. That regimen right there, that's going to blow any prenatal vitamin out of the water.
You know, prenatal vitamins were made during a time when food was kind of scarce, and that was a good product. And then, do we really need that if you're eating a very high nutrient-based diet like you are? Also, it seems like a lot of meat aversions in the first trimester are more linked to like the hot foods and the smell of the cooking. So if you can get your husband or your partner to cook for you and then eat steak, see if that helps. Cold cuts are fine.
Yes.
I recommend the book. I recommend this book all the time. Expecting Better by Emily Oster.
Great book.
Dispels a bunch of myths using data. It's not her opinion on whether or not these are truths or just myths. She stacks up the data and it's like, here's what the data actually says. The risks are if you eat deli meat versus eating a salad, and things like that. So it's a really good book to put in your little
love that book. You should
interview I'm sure that you
on your channel.
Interview Emily?
Yeah, you should totally have her on your channel.
If she would come, I would.
I bet she would. Let me see. Here's one.
Oh, yeah. Alyssa also says Real Food Pregnancy by Emily Nichols. Another fantastic book. Yeah.
And so really those 2 books, and then baby-led weaning, the techniques of baby-led weaning, but not the nutrition advice. Those really, if a mom's expecting,
I recommend those all the time.
Those are the 3 best books that you should get. And you go back and watch this again if you didn't get time to write that down. Now, here is Marina again. Does B12 help with migraines? 12-year-old daughter has
B2
migraine.
Or B12. It says B2.
Yeah, B2. Has migraines with aura 2 to 4 times a month. Oh my gosh, I used to have it like that. That's terrible. Should I give my 12-year-old iodine supplements? Your 12-year-old could definitely benefit from 1 drop of Lugol's 2% a day. Magnesium is really great for helping prevent migraines. Cutting the carbohydrate intake in your daughter's diet will help the migraines. B2 might help if that's what you meant. But magnesium and cutting the processed junk food, the carbohydrates, the sugar, the grains, the vegetable seed oils. Cut that stuff out of her diet. Supplement with magnesium, 1 drop of 2% Lugol's a day, plus or minus B2. I think that you'll notice in a month or two, it's going to take a month or two for her body to adjust. She'll have way fewer migraines. And I know she's ready for that because that sucks. Kristen, 63-year-old female, CAC 479, BMI 23, LDL 223, HDL 74, trig 71, homocysteine 15.6, A1C 5.2, fasting insulin 6.1. Doctor ordered 40 of Crestor. All this information, all these good results, and he's like, "Oh, your LDL's high. Take high dose Crestor." My thoughts are, I would not do that. If you were my sister, Kristen, I'd be like, If you want to take 5 milligrams of Crestor plus 200 milligrams of coenzyme Q10, I would be like, yeah, that's probably fine. But 40 of Crestor, that's too much. Good question. Here's Ribeye Ranger. We just rewatched your great video with our next Surgeon General, Dr. Casey Means. We wanted. She is she's an MD, and she almost completed her 5-year ear, nose, and throat residency. She's not practicing. She's doing more of the health coaching and stuff. Yeah. We wanted you for that spot. 100% make America healthy again here. Let's roll. And I appreciate the sentiment. I probably would have accepted Surgeon General if offered. I don't know how the confirmation would have went because I was a naughty boy in my past. And so there might have been some skeletons that came out. But, whatever. I didn't get offered, so it's irrelevant. But I think that Casey will do a great job.
I hope that she will do.
I hope she will, and I think she will. And I'm focusing more on making Tennessee healthy again. I've come up with a presentation on that. I've been giving that to different groups, civic groups, political groups, church groups. And so Tennessee is one of the fattest states in the whole country. And
the Great South is we're just unhealthy.
Right. And everybody wants to blame it on the bacon, but it's really the biscuits.
It's the fried chicken.
It's the biscuits and the breading on the chicken. Yeah, that's what it is, 100%. But thank you for that, Ranger. Gen G, advice for those of us with a high pulse rate, but no other heart issues. Is anxiety the only cause for that?
Can be also thyroid related.
Could be thyroid, could be just anxiety. And keep in mind, there's a normal distribution curve of heart rates. Some people have a heart rate of 58, and that's completely normal for them. Some people have a heart rate of 97 at rest, and that's completely normal for them. That's not necessarily a sign of disease or pathology. Jen, if you've been to the cardiologist and they checked your heart out thoroughly, and then they said, you're fine, go live your life, this is not a problem. This is not an issue. Okay. As you become more active and you exercise more, your heart rate's going to come down some, but it may never get down. You may never have a resting heart rate in the 60s. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Don't worry about it.
Oh, somebody says the sweet tea. It is the sweet tea yes. And the Mountain Dew and the doctor, but we call them Cokes. No matter what they are in the South, I want a Coke. That doesn't mean you want a Coca-Cola.
In a restaurant, you say, I want a Coke. And she says,
What kind?
What kind? Yeah.
What kind? We'll say, what kind of Coke do you have? And they'll say, we've got Sprite, 7-Up, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, Diet Coke, Diet Pepsi, which Mountain Dew, Diet Mountain Dew, Sun Drop.
Oh, Sun Drop.
Those are all Cokes.
Yeah.
And Mountain Dew is actually, there's a thing in this area in Kentucky called Mountain Dew Mouth because babies were given Mountain Dew so early on that they just
kids literally drink Mountain Dew every day
out of a bottle.
And it just rots the teeth out of their head. There are mobile dental clinics up in the Appalachia area where they go around and just try to help these kids. But I don't know how come the Mountain Dew advertising caught on. I guess they live in the mountains.
No, Mountain Dew was started, I think, either in Kentucky or Tennessee because it's Mountain Dew.
Right, but
it's very good marketing.
Okay? Yeah, great marketing, but
it tastes amazing. Okay, it was
it is really
way
good.
More sugar than most drinks. A lot of caffeine. It's hard. It's one of the worst. I mean, they're all bad, but Mountain Dew. Woo, it really did some damage.
Nicole, I went in for an ultrasound for my ovaries, but the tech couldn't visualize them due to having too much poop in my large intestines. Oh, okay. No, but
I think she must have been new.
Yeah.
To her job.
That's odd. Was told to eat oatmeal and chia seeds. What do I do? Okay, so oatmeal and chia seeds are actually going to produce more poop in your intestine. It's weird that they couldn't visualize your ovaries because there was too much poop in your intestines. That had to be in the sigmoid colon,
Yeah,
but that's
wild.
behind the ovary.
They're
That
here.
don't
Okay,
make no
hold up your.
sense.
Oh,
Let me, what do you want me to be? The
you be the
uterus?
No, you
Oh,
be
okay.
the sigmoid.
Okay, I'm the sigmoid
All
colon.
right. Here's the uterus.
See
and
how you
the
can
ovaries.
visualize, and here's your uterus, and it's like literally.
Like,
I don't understand that, but if Nicole, if they rescheduled you, just get a Fleet's enema and do a Fleet's enema 2 or 3 hours before, because that's going to clean out your rectum and your sigmoid colon. There won't be any poop in there at all. It won't clean your entire colon, but it's not your entire colon that's the problem. This still makes no sense to me. This makes no sense.
And the oatmeal and chia seeds don't.
That's
just
ridiculous. Yeah. Hey, Holly Kreisel, our buddy.
Did they scan her from the back? Right?
Yeah, maybe they scan you from the butt. Is that it? Because that don't make no sense. Marco, hey, Ken and Neisha, what are your thoughts on A2 raw grass-fed cheese? I have osteoarthritis in my ankle and knee. So I think that the least bad cheese you can eat is A2 raw cheese. Okay. I didn't say it was good. I said it was less bad. Now, it is delicious, no doubt. But
for osteoporosis, that's not going to do
for many
a
people,
whole lot.
the caseins and the whey's, which is still in the cheese, causes inflammation in the joints or in the gut or in the skin or even in the brain for some people. So, Marco, I would do an experiment of just beef, butter, bacon, and eggs for a month, then add in the raw cheese and see if it makes a difference with the osteoarthritis.
I thought it said osteoporosis.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, cheese is going to add pain usually.
Probably, but do your experiment, because I hope I'm wrong for your sake, because I freaking love cheese, but I know that my joints ache more and I tend to gain weight easier if I'm eating a lot of cheese. DNP, I'm thinking you only recommend 1 to 2 milligrams of iodine. Is this too low considering bromide conflicts? Great question. So I recommend 1 to 2 milligrams of iodine for most people, with the caveat. And I don't say this blatantly enough, so I'm going to say it very blatantly right now. My friend, Dr. Brownstein, recommends anywhere from 25 to 50 milligrams of iodine a day for most people. But I think that if you will get fluoride out of your water, out of your toothpaste, don't cook with it, don't drink it, don't ingest it. I think it's fine to take a shower with fluoridated water, but do not put it in your mouth, and no fluoride toothpaste, and get all the bromide out of your mouth, which is easier now since they don't brominate bread and other baked goods anymore. Used to, they used that, and if you ate bread, you were getting way high levels of bromide. But just look up common foods and drinks with bromide in them. I can tell you one of them is Mountain Dew. It's got a very high level of bromide. But most people who are eating keto and carnivore are by definition not eating bromide-rich food or drinking bromide-rich things. But if you've got all the fluoride and all the bromide out of your body and out of your environment, I think you get by great with 1 to 5 milligrams of iodine a day.
Can I take this moment to make a little announcement?
Do it.
That Dr. Berry is never going to talk about, apparently. I give him a chance every week to talk about these things. Common Sense Labs is getting a huge update, and it is available for pre-order right now.
The second edition
on Amazon, and it is going to be amazing. So if you liked the first edition, you're going to really enjoy the second edition. It's packed full of even more information, and it looks better.
And it's actually published by a publishing company, Victory Belt, so there are no typos, and there are much better graphics and charts and images.
And when you take it to your doctor, it will look like a real book.
It'll look like a real book. Exactly.
Yeah, because it will be a real book. And it was self-published, and it was wonderful. Not to poo-poo on it. It's a great book, but this will be a little bit more professional looking if you're wanting to reference it in the doctor's office to ask for labs.
So here's PJF Dawn. Hi, y'all. Been too long. Just wanted to check in. Started Carnivore in August of last year. Few ups, few downs, few months off. Started at 630 pounds. Today I'm down to 553.6 pounds. So that's all 80-pound weight loss in a year. Not even a year. Yeah. No. So say 8 months? Huzzah. Well done. Keep it up, and let's have fewer downs and fewer months off it is next year, because when I meet you in person, I don't want you to be 630 pounds or 553 pounds. I want you to be about 285. And that's very well within your limits to do that if you just stay strict and carry on.
Nellie says, Common Ground documentary on Prime Video was awesome. Neisha recommended on one of her recent videos. Yeah, so if you're into regenerative farming, or you want someone to learn about regenerative farming, and they may be on the opposite side of the aisle as you, this is a very good documentary.
Absolutely.
That is very base. It has no
Very
crazy
coachy.
people saying crazy things that are this far leaning or this far leaning. No, it is just very founded in facts and information. And it was just a really well done documentary, because as you well know, some are just going to put off one side and some are going to put off the other side. Everyone that watches this should be able to listen and hear what is being said, and about the soil and how we need to
Absolutely.
put more farm animals out to pasture to bring back the soil, and yada, yada, yada.
Yep.
It's very, very good.
Cows are going to save the world. They're not going to destroy the world.
And sheep.
And sheep, 100%. Scott says, I feel good eating this way, but I've lost too much muscle, especially since having COVID last July. I'm down 10 pounds. I eat as much as I can and still do resistance training, but to no avail. So, Scott, if you're eating all the fatty red meats you can hold, and you're lifting weights and you're losing muscle mass, something is medically wrong with you. Could be related to the COVID or the jabby jabs, or it could be something else that's undiagnosed. You need to go see your doctor and get a thorough workup, because that's odd.
Okay, I've seen this brought up several times, so let's just get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Scott says, what is this new sugar diet?
This is the dumbest thing I have ever seen in my life. This is like gaslighting.
It is gaslighting, because if you break it down, this is just a new word for standard American diet, honestly.
Yeah. They're like, eat lots of sugar.
High sugar, low fat,
And moderate protein.
lean protein.
Yeah.
No animal fat. No animal fat. Don't you dare eat a fatty coat of meat.
Yeah. And I watched a very large influencer today. I'm not gonna say his name. We've had dinner with him before.
Yeah,
we like him. But he's talking about this sugar diet. And when he explains it, I'm like, how is that any different from the diet that we now have an obesity and diabetes epidemic from? It's literally the standard American diet. He's like, you can drink Coke if you want to, but I prefer, a fresh squeezed, non-GMO organic orange juice, which if you watch me, you know that's got just as much sugar as the Coca-Cola. And he's acting like just high sugar will magically. Now, of course, this guy is a bodybuilder and he works out about 8 hours a day. So that might, and he's been accused of doing some things in the gym that might not be legal. Okay. Well, I didn't know for sure. I didn't want to cast aspersion.
Anyways, all that to say, if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it is a duck. If it sounds
you can eat all the sugar you want
all the time, then does that?
It's literally the diet that everybody got fat and sick and diabetic on, and got fatty liver from, and got metabolic syndrome from. That is the diet that is the sugar diet craze. And it is a craze because it's crazy. It's dumb.
Don't get distracted. Don't get distracted.
But I think the influencers know that there's a 10-20% of people that anything new, it could be the butthole diet, it could be the rat poop diet, and there's 10 or 20% going to do it and going to say, oh my God, my life has changed. Let me buy your product.
I think that I think a lot of there's very niched areas on all social medias, okay? And there's the bodybuilder one is very nuanced, okay? And there's a lot going on there that doesn't apply to any single person in this comment section.
Right.
If you are a bodybuilder, I encourage you to go check out Robert Sykes, who is a very
savage,
competitive and successful bodybuilder who uses high fat, high protein, low carb, and has just got down to, I can see every muscle fiber in his body.
In his butt.
And I mean, like his whole body was ripped. He
Yeah.
can get shredded and he doesn't use any carbs hardly at all. And so, like, if you're looking for that kind of information, please go check out Robert, because he's where you're going to get some like rational thinking.
Yep. Here's a question from Stanley. How do I keep my uric acid levels under control on carnivore? I love the carnivore lifestyle. So, Stanley, why are you worried about and checking your uric acid levels? Have you had gout before in the past? If so, watch my YouTube video about gout so you'll know exactly what causes it and what doesn't cause it. Just having high uric acid levels does not mean you have gout. Having a gout flare-up can happen when you have normal to low uric acid levels. There really is no correlation between the two. Some people do have high uric acid levels the first month or 3 of carnivore, and then the uric acid levels come right back down to normal. I'd keep checking it every 3 months. Watch my gout video, and I talk about uric acid in other videos as well. I also interviewed Dr. Richard Johnson on my YouTube channel, and he talks a lot about uric acid, and we talked about that some in that interview as well. But don't freak out about this. Eating red meat does not give you gout, and eating red meat doesn't necessarily make your uric acid levels high. That's usually a sign of metabolic disease that's still healing, is what that is. What do you got?
Nothing.
Oh, I
Hi
thought
to
you-
Granny Berry. Everybody saying
Oh,
hi to
y'all.
Granny Berry.
Granny Berry's watching from Alabama at
Speaking
our
of Granny Berry,
parents' house. Tell her hi and where you're watching from. Hi, Granny Berry. We love you.
hope you had a fabulous Happy Mother's Day. Did you call Granny?
I did call Granny Berry. I ain't dumb.
Did you guys have a Happy Mother's Day? I hope you did. I did. Had the best Mother's Day ever.
Oh, that's saying something because she said some good in the past.
Sykes.
S-I-K-E-S.
Sikes. Or Keto Savage. He also owns the brand Keto Brick. So if you go to their website, you'll probably find his information there too.
Yep. Brian says, how long does it take for vitamin D levels to rise from eating fatty meats? It's going to take a few months. If your vitamin D level is very low right now, and that's, in my opinion, under 35, if your vitamin D25 level is under 35, it's very, very low, regardless of what your doctor told you. I would take 5,000 units of vitamin D3 a day, in addition to eating fatty meats, egg yolks, fatty seafood, foods that are rich in vitamin D. Get that level up above 50, get it between 50 and 100. I think that's the sweet spot. There's no danger there from that at all. And it's going to protect you. It helps your immune system, your bones, so many different things. Vitamin D is really a life-saving vitamin.
Stephen, are you watching from the Vatican? You may be the first person I've ever seen who said hi from the Vatican. That's pretty cool.
I don't think we've ever had
ever
anybody
seen
watch
that.
from the Vatican.
Interesting.
Wow, cool. We were in the grounds of the Vatican one time late at night. It had already closed, but we just had to check that off our list.
We only had one day in Rome.
Yeah,
That
we
was
had
our
one
last
day.
time.
We did a lot of stuff in one
It
day.
was amazing.
We might have to go back. Here's Harley. Carnivore for 60 days. Cardiologist is not happy. Which CT best? Cardiac CT or coronary artery CAC score? 78-year-old with AFib on Eliquis. So first of all, why is your cardiologist not happy? Do they have an objective, provable, scientific reason for not being happy, or are they just a vegan and want you to be a vegan? Because that's very common in cardiologists. If they're truly worried about blockages in your heart, you want to get a CT angiogram that can see both calcified plaque and soft plaque. You've been on carnivore for 60 days. That definitely hasn't caused any blockages in your arteries, okay? If you have blockages in your arteries, it comes from the decades of crap that you ate, maybe smoked, maybe drank for those decades. That's why you have blockages if you do. Thank you, Andy. Here is Jesus and Carnivore. No, Jesus and Carnivore. Sorry. Yeah, Jesus and Carnivore. So this is a Christian carnivore. Please send love and support to my bestie, Kelly, 30 years plus MS carnivore since October. Emotions are extremely high and unbalanced on carnivore, tapering off Zoloft. Hopefully, ups and downs will regulate. Any extra advice Appreciate it. I would wean down the Zoloft very slowly.
And
Yes.
high fat.
High fat, wean slowly.
And don't be skipping those meals. Feed your body.
Oh, let me tell anybody trying to wean down off psychiatric meds, antidepressants, anti-anxiety drugs. If let's just take Zoloft. It comes in 100 milligram, a 50 milligram, a 25 milligram. Okay. So those are big jumps. For some people, they can make those steps down and it's fine. They don't have any problems. Some people cannot go from 50 to 25 and 25 to 0, or they will have crazy withdrawal side effects. If you go to a compounding pharmacy, and it's typically a locally owned pharmacy that's like Smith Drugs or Harold's Pharmacy, not CVS or Walgreens, they can compound you a liquid Zoloft or a liquid, whatever your current mental health drug is, so that you can go down by little drops. Some people have to do that. If they try to go from 50 to 25, they're like, I can't do that. I can't do it. And so a compounding pharmacy can make unique dosages for you. They can even make liquid versions, and it makes it so much easier to wean down off of brain-altering drugs. So keep that in mind. That might help somebody. Jesus in Carnivore. I bet they've got a good YouTube channel.
Kappa, Hawaii.
Nice. Bible reading bear. I have been carnivore for 2 years in July. Was feeling great. I have rheumatoid arthritis, and in January I broke 3 ribs. Now pain, inflammation, joint pain, gained 5 pounds. Is this a flare? Yeah. Any trauma, any stress on your system, whether physical trauma or mental trauma.
This is both.
Yeah, you can. I mean, rib fractures. Dude, that sucks. It can cause you to have an RA flare-up. Yeah, 100%. Even if you're eating a perfect diet, it can still cause an RA flare-up. So don't fret that too much. Just keep doing the best you can right now.
All right, we got a few minutes left.
All right, David says, Dr. Berry, carnivore diet, suntan, seed oils. Here's something that when people go carnivore and stay carnivore, and when spring and summer comes, they notice they can stay in the sun much longer than they previously could without getting a sunburn. And at first, we kept hearing this, some people saying this on Twitter, and I had noticed it personally because I used to be the guy that used to have to tell my phone to wake me up in 10 minutes when we were at the beach so I could get under the umbrella, or I would get an ungodly burn. But now I can stay out in full sun for 30, 40 minutes, depending on just, what month of the year it is. But we hypothesize that it's the seed oils are being inappropriately incorporated into the cells that make up your skin. The cell membranes are made of fats. And if they're made up of the wrong kinds of fats, the kind that come in canola oil, soybean, sunflower, peanut, canola, vegetable shortening, plant butter, which is not a thing, then it can cause your skin to burn prematurely. And so that's why so many people, when they go carnivore, they're eating 100% animal fat. They don't even have canola oil in their kitchen. They can stay in the sun longer before they burn. Sometimes double the length of exposure. They can get a tan where used to they only got burns. Now, I'm not saying you can stay in the sun all day. If you're from a Nordic country, I'm saying you can stay longer than you used to be able to stay. When you get all the seed oils out of your mouth and you stay carnivore for at least 3 months. And if anybody's noticed this, please tell me in the comments, because we've gotten thousands of comments on Twitter about this finding. All right, let's get close to carnivore. Close to carnivore. Hey, can't stay and watch. We'll watch replay. Night cramps. Tried everything. Pickle juice, mustard, Highlands leg cramp pills, magnesium, up to 5 to 8 times a night. Yesterday had a bad carb day. Not one cramp all night. Yeah, and so the carbs are causing you to hold fluid, which causes you to hold electrolytes. It could be magnesium. It could also be you're just not eating enough salt. It could also be you're not getting enough potassium in the form of a supplement. So I would get some Element unflavored electrolytes, and I would use 1, 2, or 3 packets a day. In addition, I would take some magnesium glycinate at bedtime. And now keep in mind, close to carnivore, if this is happening in just one leg and always the same leg, you need to go see your doctor and get some testing done because you might have an arterial blockage. Okay. But almost always when you get enough salt, enough magnesium, and enough potassium, the cramps go away. Hope that helps. Now, if any of you guys did not get your question answered tonight, I'm going to be live again tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central, but not on YouTube. It's going to be inside of our PhD community. There's a link in the show notes. If you've got questions you need answers to and you can't find them anywhere else, become a part of our community, and I'll answer your questions tomorrow at 4 p.m. or tomorrow at 6 p.m. or Wednesday at 5 p.m. or Wednesday at 6 p.m.
We have 2 levels, so you can choose between the essentials or the pro. The pro includes a Zoom call where you actually can talk
directly via video with me, and that's every Wednesday night at 6 p.m.
with a group
Central.
It's not just you and him; it's a group of people.
Yep, and we take turns talking. But if you got more questions, that's where I'll be tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central. You can be right there with me if you'd like, and join a family of thousands of people from all over the world who have joined together to reverse metabolic disease, reverse obesity, reverse type 2 diabetes, and thousands of people inside the group have done just that, and they are happy to help you do that too. So keep that in mind.
We also have Chris Cooking Nashville in there. He's our culinary.
Yes.
What are you calling yourself, Chris? It's culinary
coach.
Culinary coach. Him and his wife Ash do Q&As in there. They do cooking demos. We're sharing recipes in his little group. So that is just an amazing resource because it's a way for you guys to understand cooking. It's not just like on his YouTube channel, he gets very creative. In the group, he's breaking it down way more simply for the average human who is not a culinary genius.
Who doesn't love to cook. Some of us don't love to cook. We just want to get in there, get her done, and get out. But we'd like for it to taste nice. That'd be nice. And Chris, our culinary expert, teaches our tribe members how to do that. So value on top of value. Also, if any of you guys have heard me talk tonight about a proper human diet, and you're like, that sounds great. Yeah, but what is a proper human diet? You can get a free guidebook about 40 pages long. I'll email you a copy. There's a link in the show notes. And then you'll know what exactly a proper human diet is and what it ain't.
If you want more videos like this, subscribe to this channel. If you want to hang out with me, subscribe to my channel. And if you want really amazing carnivore cooking, go subscribe to Chris Cooking Nashville's channel. And we will see you